I'm Evan Thomason for This Week in Santa Clarita. Right now I am standing next to Mike Fleming, Festival Director for the City of Santa Clarita's Cowboy Festival. Mike, something significant has just happened. Cowboy season is officially started. Tickets are now on sale for the 2011 Cowboy Festival.
True. They just went on sale this past Monday, and orders are rolling in from all over the country. In fact, even from overseas. We have a person who just bought tickets for almost every event available who's coming from London, England, and this will be our second year in a row coming too.
Well, and it definitely draws a wide crowd from not just locally here in Santa Clarita, as you mentioned, all over the world, really. 2011, I looked at the lineup, and we do have the lineup set of performers, and people can go on for tickets and for performers, schedule of events, dates. They can go on to cowboyfestival.org. But let's talk about 2011. We're going to see some performers come back that were very popular. I noticed Hot Club of Cowtown is back, Wiley and the Wild West.
Yeah, both of those are favorites of mine as well. If people aren't familiar with Hot Club of Cowtown, just to give you an idea, they've toured with Bob Dylan and Willie Nelson and toured all over Europe and the East Coast. They're just an amazing group of musicians. For three people playing acoustic instruments, they get so much sound. It's just unbelievable. And Wiley and the Wild West, of course, as you mentioned. Wiley was the Yahoo guy, the yodeler for years. We have our favorites from the past, like Don Edwards and the Sons of the San Joaquin. Sourdough Slim, I call him the human marionette. He's just like every sidekick from old Western films rolled into one, and he plays accordion, which we won't hold against him, of course. And great poets. We haven't had Waddy Mitchell in about 4 or 5 years because he's been involved in another event. We brought him back, so it's going to be great to have him on stage.
And Waddy's hilarious. So describe the mix of music. Now, cowboy music has a certain style to it, but we see everything from balladeers to Hot Club of Cowtown. It's very much swinging. I mean, it's very fast-paced.
Well, historically, the original cowboy music came off the cattle drives in the 1800s out in the Great Plains of America. And so that would be more of your balladeer that you describe. A lot of those songs were brought from Old English and Irish folk tunes, and they set their own words to them. And then when we got into the 20th century, around the 20s and 30s, some of the other influences of American music started working their way in. So you had the movie music, which is typical of the Sons of the Pioneers, Gene Autry, those people. And then swing music, which is personally one of my favorites. And that came from people like Bob Wills and Milton Browne and the Light Crust Doughboys and all of those. But they actually got their roots out of the big bands out of the East Coast and Chicago.
And in the cowboy poetry that you talk about, too, really has a wide range to it. I think people that have never heard it before, though, would be surprised, and you mentioned Waddy Mitchell, at how funny it is.
Oh, it can be hilarious. And, people hear cowboy poetry and they think it's an oxymoron. But actually it goes back to even beyond the cowboy story, and that's just the storytellers. And it's just a great way to construct a story is to put it into rhyme. But, some of the hijinks and the stories that come out through cowboy poetry are hilarious. I'd agree with you on that.
And one of the main attractions, of course, and you mentioned the festival is going to go, well, I don't know if we mentioned, but the festival is going to go from April 27th, so it'll be a week-long event at the Melody Ranch Motion Picture Studios. That will be April 30th and May 1st. And a lot of people think is that sort of the festival proper because it's at the backdrop of a very historically significant movie studio.
Well, correct. And Melody Ranch, of course, the festival at Melody Ranch is really the hallmark of the festival. That's why so many people come. Actually to see Melody Ranch Motion Picture Studio. But we've also been able to work with partners here in our community to build these other great events. For instance, on April 27th, that Wednesday, we're going to have Cowboy Couture, which is a Western fashion show. That's coming back for the first time in several years. Repertory East Theater will be putting that on. We've got events at Heritage Junction with the Santa Clarita Valley Historical Society. Got a barbecue, a film tour. The barbecue is going to feature two very well-known stuntmen, Diamond Farnsworth and Lauren Janes, who was Steve McQueen's stuntman in many movies. They're going to talk about the background of that. Then we've got some other events at Repertory East Theater. We got a gentleman who's a publisher of True West magazine who knows anything and everything there is to know about Wyatt Earp, and he's going to tell both sides of the story about Wyatt Earp. We've already got people knocking on the door for that one. And then, of course, Hart Mansion. We have two concerts there, one with the Sons of the San Joaquin, one with Wiley and the Wild West, but solo, which is a very rare thing. And then one that I'm really looking forward to Saturday night at the Rep East Theater is going to be just an all-out jam with Hot Club of Cowtown, Sourdough Slim, and a great local swing band from L.A. called the Lucky Stars.
And I know, in addition to a lot of great entertainment, and you mentioned the weekend at Melody Ranch Motion Picture Studio, it's general admission. So people come in, it's one price to see all the entertainment that's there, and 5 stages?
4 stages. Four
stages this year. There's also a lot of cowboy gear, authentic cowboy gear and crafts, and we would be remiss if we did not mention one of the biggest attractions to the Cowboy Festival, which is
the peach cobbler. People literally come from all over the country to have the peach cobbler prepared by the chuck wagon cooks that show up there. The line is long, but nobody seems to mind.
Again, Mike, tickets are now on sale. They can definitely find this out on cowboyfestival.org, cowboyfestival.org. What other ways can they get tickets?
Well, they can go online and find out the phone numbers. We have a box office line. They can also fax or mail in their orders. One thing that people should know is this year we didn't mail out a brochure. We did send a postcard, but if they want a brochure, it is online and downloadable, and they can get all their information from there.
And I know that the Cowboy Couture is at a venue that is very up close and personal, meaning that it probably would behoove people that want to go to the other events that are outside of the festival to act early.
That's very true. That's one of the great things about both Hart Mansion and Heritage Junction, and of course Repertory Theater. You're talking about 70, 80 seats. An amazing opportunity to see great talent up close and personal. You want to get on that horse and ride it real early if you want those tickets.
All right, Mike, I want to thank you for joining us.
My pleasure.
If you're out there and you're planning on attending the 2011 Cowboy Festival, go online, cowboyfestival.org. You can see a list of performers, the schedules, and the dates. For this week in Santa Clarita, I'm Evan Thomason.